Nikki Grahame joins me alongside her psychotherapist from tonight's show, Mandy Sally Gary. Good morning to both of you. I've watched the show in therapy, Mandy, with various other celebs, and just watching that clip there, it's actually it's a traumatic experience, actually. You're going to places that you've purposely tried to look away.
Yeah, I mean, therapy is never going to be a exciting prospect, and I'd watched previous episodes with Mandy, so I knew that she was a force to be reckoned with, and I was a little bit apprehensive at first.
What made you feel that this might help you?
There wasn't an initial pull towards the show, but I think it's the first time I've actually been given the opportunity to have therapy outside of my eating disorder. Whereas before, when I've had therapy, I've been so clouded by the eating disorder that I've not really utilised it. And to be given this opportunity, it brought so much clarity, and it was really insightful.
Yeah. Amanda, how much did you know about Nikki?
Well, I kind of knew what everybody knew, which is she's this enormous character that came onto our screens, and you know, I was very interested to meet you. But when I met you, it's like a different battle commenced.
For you, Mandy, you wanted to, obviously, as you say, you mentioned the person, but it was almost getting to the root of all of the problems, anorexia being part of that issue. How difficult is that to do, Mandy?
It's difficult with anyone, okay, because if you've got stuff in your life that is uncomfortable and painful and you didn't have the coping mechanisms at the time, you put in place something that's a coping mechanism, and what you put in place was an eating disorder. So once you remove the eating disorder, you access the person at the age they were when they put that coping mechanism in place. So once you told me you were about 7 or 8 when this happened, I knew I was going to get a 7 or 8-year-old in the room at some point to start working with, and the resistance from you was phenomenal at times.
I'm very persistent.
I mean, you know, this is not a sort of easy, oh, I felt bad right now, I'm in therapy now, let's do the work. All the time there was this resistance, and all that told me was how frightened you were and how vulnerable you were and how honest you were trying to be. So as I met that resistance, I knew that there was somebody really worth fighting for.
And you took Nikki back really to family life and to your parents' divorce.
I spent so many years in these institutions and clinics, and when I finally came out at 19, I had nothing going for me. I had no social skills, no education, nowhere to live, and I literally started from scratch. I mean, it was so daunting, and I did relapse several times because I needed to go back to what I knew, and I'd grown up in those places, and I felt comfortable being there after all that time. And Big Brother literally opened my world to, you know, to everything.
Yeah, and you've been all over the world with it. You won the Canadian one. And
I didn't win. I've never won it. I've done it 4 times and I've never won.
You're the public winner more than once, though, Nikki. It has to be said. And you're doing columns and all sorts for the current one, so it's still very much part of your life.
Yeah, I'm still a huge fan of that show and always will be.
Me too, to be honest.
Yeah.
How do you feel in yourself now, Nikki?
So I feel content. I think it's impossible to say we're always going to be, you know, we're happy with how we are. You're always going to have small elements about yourself that you're not happy about. But I'm content and I'm at one with myself. And yeah, I feel really together.
Yeah, okay. Well, look, In Therapy is tonight, Channel 5, 10:05. I've watched all of your series, Mandy. Honestly, it's incredible watching you at work as well, isn't it? She's, as you say, she is a force, and you get to the root of the problem. So it's been great to meet you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.